Leading off public forum this morning, we are honored to have in our midst Senator Tom Harman. Senator Harman. Senator Harman, there's a button at the base of the microphone, and you should get a red light. There you go.
Yes, there it is. That better?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for allowing me to speak this morning and giving me just a little bit of priority. I do appreciate it. I am reminded of the Coastal Commission meeting that I went to last month, where I waited for 7 hours to testify for 3 minutes. So Fish and Game Commission is certainly going up, in my opinion, because of that. I'm Senator Tom Harman. I represent the 35th Senate District. That's coastal Orange County. My hometown is Huntington Beach, and I wanted to take an opportunity to speak towards agenda item number 9, dealing with fish stocking. The regulations that you are perhaps going to have before you for consideration today, I believe will negatively impact business and further hurt California's struggling economy. As you know, we have one of the highest unemployment rates in the country, and oftentimes we are viewed as being uncompetitive and anti-business, and I think these types of regulations that are being considered or proposed fall on that basis. I am also pleased to tell you that the entire Orange County legislative delegation, assembly members and senators, Republicans and Democrats, have signed a letter which has been sent to the Commission voicing their objections to these proposed regulations. I believe the Commission has copies of that letter. As you know, millions of California anglers rely almost exclusively on the sustainable process of fish stocking in public and private waters. If these regulations pass, many Californians will no longer be able to enjoy this family-friendly outdoor activity. It's estimated by some that the cost of complying with these regulations could be as much, and that'd be for a small, modest-sized lake, the cost could be in the $100,000 a year range. And I believe there will be other people testifying later on today with more specifics on that. But the cost could very well put those businesses out of work, result in layoffs of employees, and it's certainly something we don't want to do in this type of difficult economy that we have in California. I also believe the regulations are not clearly defined and are not clearly based on scientific evidence. As a result, if these regulations are adopted, they will be subjectively applied and will cause additional harm and hardship to business. What Californians need today is less burdensome and unnecessary regulations. We don't need more regulations that fit in that category. The members of the public can currently fish at many of these lakes without being required to have in their possession a fishing license. This will cause an additional burden to some people that will have to buy a fishing license, that are perhaps the economy is such that it would impose a burden on them. I think the cost of a license is around $45. That may be out of the reach of some families that like to go to these small recreational put-and-take type lakes that allow fishing of the type just described. I'm a lifelong conservationist. I've always been supportive of common sense solutions to protect the environment for future generations. However, there's not appear to be a common sense nexus between the regulations as proposed and the problems they seek to address. To date, there's been minimal problem here in California with fish stocking. After all, we have been stocking fish in California for 120 years, I'm told, and there hasn't been any particular environmental damage or destruction caused by this common sense approach. In closing, I would just ask those of you, perhaps from the Southern California area, that have ever taken an opportunity to drive north to the eastern Sierras along Highway 395, which I've done many times. And as you're driving up that road, you're just bound to see carload after carload, RV after RV of families going to the mountains to do a little camping and do a lot of trout fishing, and that type of activity is very dependent on the trout stocking efforts that are maintained in those areas. So I encourage you to take a long look at these regulations. Regulations cannot and should not be approved in a vacuum. We don't need job killer rules and regulations that serve no purpose, are based on scientific evidence that is a little bit fuzzy, and will actually, in my view, have the result of destroying the recreational fishing industry. For all of those reasons, I urge you to reject these regulations. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak today.
Thank you, Senator Harman. Thank you for driving all the way down. Any questions of the Senator from the Commission? Commissioner Bayless.
Senator Harman, thank you again, and not only for being one of our great leaders in the political world, but as you indicated, you have a history of conservation and helping the environment. We appreciate that. I wanted to point out, you mentioned about the fishing license, and that's a key point, I think, is that many underserved families are able to go to these small lakes and teach kids how to fish and the benefits of what we do here in California. So I just wanted to bright line that point you made. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is a key point.